What's going on, everybody? This is the Negro Shotty, and today I'm here to do a quick review for Boruto The Next Generations, Episode 1. So, going into this Boruto series, I did not know what to expect. I just recently watched the Boruto animated movie that came out last year, the English dub version, and I quite enjoyed that movie, and I did not know what to expect when it came to this anime. I didn't know if we were going to be getting Dragon Ball Super levels of quality, or if we're going to be getting something that is more in line with like Dragon Ball Z, or even Dragon Ball GT. And honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised by the setup of this episode. The episode starts out with let me go ahead and just say this first and foremost. I'm gonna get into spoilers for this episode. So if you haven't seen episode one of the Boruto series, go ahead and watch that first, and then come back and watch this review. And so with the spoiler warning out of the way, let me go ahead and get into the review. So Uh, first thing that first thing that kind of caught me off guard was the setup to this series. A friend told me I believe it was last week, that we were talking about the Boruto animated series, and I was wondering, after seeing the Boruto movie, I was just wondering, like what can they do next with like the franchise, because Naruto and Sasuke are freaking gods. And one of the concerns that I had was basically, if they keep Naruto and Sasuke in the picture, it's not going to be like there wouldn't really be a threat for Boruto and his team to face, simply because Naruto and Sasuke can just show up at any time and stop anybody who threatens the village. And so my friend told me last week that there's this guy named and please forgive me for any mispronunciations of any character names in this video, because I'm not too familiar with all of the characters in this new series yet, and I'll probably get better with the pronunciations as we go along in these episode reviews. Hopefully, if I keep doing episode reviews as these new episodes come out, but uh, I believe the dude's name is pronounced Kimiwari, something like that. But there's this guy that at the beginning of this episode, I mean, not Naruto, Boruto, like the beginning of the episode, it shows Boruto, and he's a lot older. It shows Boruto and Kimiwari, and they're a lot older, and they're fighting, and it seems like the village was completely destroyed, and it seems like Boruto might be like the last one left. And that, like, the initial scene for this show, like I said, it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it, and something my friend told me was basically that Naruto and Sasuke end up getting killed by this uh by this Kimiwari dude. Apparently he's a samurai or something. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know if this, like, that's another thing that I'm kind of, you know, I don't really know if this series is going to follow the manga, because I've heard a few people say that Naruto and Sasuke are dead, but I kind of, like, I heard a few people say that Naruto and Sasuke are dead in the manga, but I don't really believe that Kishimoto will kill them off. If he actually does kill Naruto off in this series, and he does kill Sasuke off, or if like Sasuke ends up going missing or something like that, then I think this series is going to be really, really good. And I'm one of those people who was basically like, they don't need to continue the Naruto series. They should just let it die. But honestly, this first episode was pretty good. I want to say it's a like, if I had to rate this episode in comparison to like the first episode of the original Naruto, it's probably kind of up there, because here's something that I like about this episode. So, um, it seems like this show isn't going to basically do what Dragon Ball Super did, where like it's just gonna retell it's gonna retell the events of the movie. Like in Dragon Ball Super, like the first two arcs in Dragon Ball Super, it just basically retold Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F. But this show, Boruto: The Next Generations, doesn't seem like it's gonna be it doesn't seem like it's gonna be retelling anything at all, and that's something that I like. Like going forward, Boruto is still at that stage where he basically hates Naruto, just like in the Naruto movie. But it's like it kind of feels like it takes place before that movie, or it feels like I guess they're going to be taking elements from that movie, hopefully. And this episode, it basically was Boruto. Uh, Boruto basically he hasn't started the Ninja Academy and everything. He meets up with this dude named Dinky, and this is the introduction to this guy named Dinky, and his father owns this company that's like a train company, and it seems like the village is starting to get a lot more technologically advanced. So it seems like this is way in the future. Obviously, um, I like that. I like that now. We get to kind of see these new characters pop up. We get to see a little bit of Shikadai and Boruto as they're riding a train, and they go to get a hamburger, and they're eating the hamburger on the train. I thought most of the scenes with I thought most of the scenes between these characters, I enjoyed watching that. One of the things that kind of concerns me because at one point the character that I just mentioned earlier, Dinky, he gets attacked. He doesn't get attacked, but he's basically getting bullied by these other people in the village, and Boruto stops them. And at one point, because one of the major issues with the episode, um, it seems like Dinky wanted to do his own thing. He didn't really want to become a ninja. He didn't want to really start going to the ninja academy. His father wanted him to become a ninja because he admired ninjas, and it was something about the Great Ninja War and everything. And honestly, it seemed like Dinky didn't want to become a ninja at first. But his father basically said he had to get stronger. Until he gets strong enough to, I guess take care of himself. He wants Dinky to become a ninja and learn ninjutsu. And I like how I like how Boruto seems to obviously it's just like in the Boruto movie where it's like he doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, and this Dinky character, he seems to basically be just like Naruto. He wants to follow his own path. He doesn't want to do exactly as his father wants him to do, and so Boruto throughout this episode is telling Dinky to basically do what you want to do. Don't listen to your father. And at a certain point, Dinky gets bit by this mysterious chakra snake, and I guess it's gonna be a big thing for the series. I guess for this first season or whatever, is people getting bit by this weird chakra snake thing, and I guess making them turn evil or something. Well, not turn evil, but like make them do things that they wouldn't normally do. Because by the end of the episode, Dinky ends up getting everybody in danger by he lures the guys that were bullying him prior in the episode to this train that like the train is basically uh how do I say this? Basically it's a messed up train. It's a train that isn't functioning properly, and he gets them on this train, and he has another train that's like going straight toward it. So it's like he's planning on basically killing those kids. that bullied him earlier, and Boruto manages to kind of like snap him out of that state that he was in because he got bit by that chakra snake. And something that I like, obviously, if you read the manga, you already knew a lot of the elements that are going to be in this series. I didn't know that Naruto. It seems like, I mean, it seems like Boruto has the Akugan, but I could be mistaken. That could be a new type of eye, but it looks like a Byakugan. I think that looks pretty cool. The few fight scenes, I can't really call them fight scenes really, but the few fight scenes that we saw in this episode, I enjoyed. I really enjoyed. Like I said, all of the dialogue between the characters and everything. The animation looks pretty good, and that, I guess, that's a concern for a lot of people. I guess that's a concern because the Naruto Shippuden anime, the Naruto Shippuden anime, at a certain point, it had bad animation, but then they kind of, I guess, they switched up. I don't know if they switched the studio that does the animation at a certain point in the Naruto Shippuden series, but there were some times where like certain scenes were animated poorly, and in this episode, thankfully, it was a strong episode. The animation was good. Like I said, I like the dialogue. I like seeing this new version of the village. This the village in the future. I definitely like the ending of this episode because I definitely like the ending of this episode where Boruto ends up crashing the train cart into the seven Hokages, Naruto's statue, Naruto's rock statue, and he crashes the train cart into the statue, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm here, everybody," because they were basically calling everybody's name to see who was present there for the ceremony for like the first day of the Ninja Academy, basically. And at one point in this episode, Dinky and Boruto, they're basically rushing to get to the ceremony because they're starting the Ninja Academy, and by the end of the episode, that whole thing with the whole thing with the train was resolved, and of course, like I said earlier, the train cart hit the Hokage statue, which I thought was perfect for Naruto, as like, I mean, it was perfect for Boruto because he hates his father, and he always wants to try to embarrass his father and kind of show off, kind of get attention. But the way that but it's kind of different, and this is what I like about the Boruto character so far, is that he doesn't want to be just like his father. Like, that was one of my main concerns about this series, going into this series, and like just like not knowing nothing about it, even before I watched the Boruto movie. I was very concerned that Boruto was just going to be another Naruto. I was concerned that he was just going to act he was gonna act exactly like his father, and I thought that he was gonna want to become Okage, like he was gonna want to just be exactly like his father. So I like that he wants to. I like that he wants to, because he says at the end of the episode that he wants to follow his own path, and I like that he wants to follow his own path. I like that he doesn't want to, like, he doesn't really care about becoming a great ninja, and which is crazy because at the like I said, the first scene of this episode, the first scene of this series is basically Boruto being older, older Boruto fighting against this guy named Kimiwari, and he's like, I'm the last guy. I'm the last shinobi in this village. I'm gonna take you down, and the guy's like, the age of shinobi is over. So I'm definitely surprised by the quality of this episode, and also really the setup of this series. I hope that it continues. I hope that I hope that by the time that we get to the events of what we saw in the first few scenes of this episode with Kimiari. I hope that the lead up to it is good. I hope that everything that leads up to it is good because in Naruto Shippuden they kind of did the same thing with because if y'all remember how Naruto Shippuden started, it started with like the first scene in Naruto Shippuden was literally Naruto searching for Sasuke, and then he ends up finding Sasuke at the end of that scene, and we get to see like an older version of Sasuke at that point in Naruto Shippuden. So there's a lot of parallels between the first episode of the original Naruto and also Naruto Shippuden, the first episode of Naruto Shippuden, also in this episode. I think I just about covered everything. Uh, like I said, if I had to rate this, if I had to rate this episode, I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was good. I'm very impressed. Hopefully this show doesn't go the route of Naruto of Dragon Ball Super. You know, hopefully this show can be hopefully the show can be what Dragon Ball Super should be. If that makes any sense, because I'm happy that it like I'm just happy to see that I'm happy to see that at least this show it makes sense. It makes sense that it is out. Like it makes sense that it exists, even though like even though I still am kind of one of those people that are kind of like a little skeptical on it, but at least it makes sense that it exists. Dragon Ball Super doesn't make sense that it exists at all. I'm sorry. But that's a discussion for another day. So let me know what you guys thought about Boruto episode one. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these reviews, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been a Negro Shotty. I'm out of here. Peace.